So if you have been hearing that ICT skills is one important skills to learn in this age and time we live in, the best place to start is first understanding the concept of ICT. And that's what we're going to be doing in this video. So in this video, we are going to be learning what ICT is all about. We're also going to be looking at how ICT is impacting us today. You also learn why computer technology is always mistaken as ICT itself. You know, when ICT is mentioned, a lot of people think it's just computer, but we are going to understand why that misconception. Then also we are going to look at 6 on-demand ICT skills that you can start learning today without expensive or 4 years degree program. Okay, so these are what we are going to be covering in this video. Endeavor to watch to the end and run with the insights and knowledge you are going to be learning in this video. Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. This is Emmanuel Onyewuchi. I'm the founder of learnver.com. Learnver is the new school online for the next breed of digital optimizer. Our goal is to equip our students with digital and computer literacy skills to help them optimize the online world to their own benefit, to create impact and a life of freedom for themselves. So we do this by creating and launching on-demand courses and programs in ICT, computer and data related skills. So endeavor to subscribe to our channel. We publish useful and relevant content in the space of computer and data skills more often. Endeavor to subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications so that whenever we publish this video, you get notification and you stay in touch with us. Okay, so let's get into today's topic. Now let's start with what is ICT. Now, the term ICT stands for Information and Communication Technologies. It's simply seen as a different forms of electronic medium for creating, storing, manipulating, receiving, and sending information from one place to another. Now, what we have as today as ICT, the term or the phrase ICT, is not just one component, it's not just one device, it's not also just the computer, which a lot of people mistake for. You know, like I said earlier, when the word ICT is mentioned, a lot of people think of it, computer is it, but computer is just one element of the ICT world we have today. The ICT infrastructure we have today, computer is just part of the element that makes it up. So there are different elements that make up the term or the phrase we have as ICT. So include the computer itself, of course. Computer is part of it, and also your smart devices. So your phone and other smart electronic devices can also be classified under some of the elements that makes ICT possible. Also, we have the networking component and technologies. So networking components are all the components and devices that can allow one or two devices to communicate, connect to each other and communicate and transmit files. So these things also are also needed or are involved in making possible the ICT world. They are the component that make up the ICT infrastructure. So we also have web technologies. You know, the web as we have it today, there are different technologies that makes it possible. Okay, even though the computer technology also enables web technology, but there are also other technology. It's not only the computer technology that makes possible the web. The online world as we have it today is not just the computer technology that makes it possible. There are also other technology that makes it possible, like the IP technology. We also have the HTTP technology. You also have the domain name technology. Okay, the ability that if you type a name on a browser, you can be able to access a web platform on the web. That is actually a technology on its own. So all these things put together, they are part of the elements of ICT. So you also have application softwares, even system softwares, any kind of software you can talk about. They are also technologies, because technology is simply a systematic way of doing things. So there are also a system and a systematic way of creating these softwares, and these softwares also allow some of the elements. For example, you cannot just use computer hardware. You need to run a software inside of it to enable it do other things that computer can do, which also enables, also empower some of other technologies that also enable the ICT. So you see how all these things are interconnected. Okay. So also you have the landline, telephone, radios, and all that. Now all these things also enable ways of transmitting, transferring, and manipulating information. For example, landline can be used to transmit internet connection can be transmitted through the landline. So all these things are part of the element that makes up the information and communication technologies that we have today. Also, you have the artificial intelligence and robotics. So some of all these things are also built on the computer technology or other kind of technologies in this list of technology we have mentioned here. So if you look at it, these are some of the component or element that makes up the ICT infrastructure that is always referred to today as ICT. Now, the takeaway here is that whenever ICT is mentioned, don't just think of it that it's just computer. Just know that there are also other elements that makes up this ICT infrastructure. Okay. So you can agree with me that the ICT is really impacting our life today in a remarkable way. It's drastically changing how we communicate, how we work, how we learn, and how we live today. 2 to 3 decades ago, you can't easily access this information right now. For you to access some of this information, you have to come to a classroom, sit down, and someone will deliver it to you. So easy access to information is not rightly available few decades ago. So ICT technologies, ICT infrastructure is actually what has enabled us the easy access to information. Also communications today you can simply reach someone miles away with just a click of a button or a press of a button. So these are ways ICTs are impacting us. Also e-commerce, you can now easily buy products and services today without even leaving your bedroom. Banking services, e-learning, okay, just like what you are doing here now can also be classified as an e-learning. Also what we are doing like in platform like LearnVer, we are teaching students who from all over the world, from the comfort of their bedroom, they can enroll for courses and take training that is going to equip them with the skills they need to thrive in their own discipline. This also is applicable in most universities today. They are adapting the e-learning ecosystem and is actually changing the way information and knowledge is transmitted today. So these are different ways ICT is impacting us today. So impacting every aspect, every industry, every organizations, every businesses today are deploying ICT to run everything they are doing today. So ICT is changing our life and is very, very obvious in every aspect of our life today. So one of the misconceptions most people have is that computer is ICT, but like we mentioned earlier, computer is not ICT. Computer is just one element of the ICT infrastructure, but computer is also very important element when it comes to the ICT infrastructure, because without the computer we won't even be talking about ICT itself, because almost every other component we mentioned earlier about that makes up the ICT infrastructure depend on the computer technology. For example, the web depend on the computer technology, the internet depend on the computer technology. The internet is a global system of interconnected computers and devices. The web is made possible to an end user because the files are stored inside a computer that is connected to the internet. Okay, softwares run in the internet. Okay, the essence of networking component and technology is to connect one or two computers together. So when you look at all the elements we mentioned earlier that enables the ICT infrastructure, you'll see that they have one or two dealings with the computer technology. This is actually where the idea that a lot of people take the concept that ICT is computer, but there are different things. ICT is made up of different forms of electronic components that enables easy access to transferring information, processing information, storing information, and all that. But computer technology actually is part of that different electronic medium. It's part of it, not the main ICT infrastructure itself. So that is basically it. So what you understand here is that computer is a major component in the ICT infrastructure. In fact, without the computer, I won't even have ICT itself, because the term itself, ICT, started making wave in the 80s, and this is actually when computer technology has developed to an extent that it now enables other technology to be possible. From the 90s, we started having the internet, the web started making waves and all that. Okay, so computer is a major component of the ICT infrastructure, but is not the whole of ICT. Okay, so let's look at 6 on-demand ICT skills you can learn without expensive degree program. So there are many degree programs you find in universities and all that regards to developing ICT skills and knowledge. But the skills I'm about to share with you here, you don't need to involve in any degree program that will take you 4 years to study before you can develop this case. This case, you can start learning them today by just the way you are watching this video right here online, or you can enroll for programs or courses that will walk you through these skills within a short period of time. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, you develop these skills and you can use them in your own dealings. So one of them is basic computer literacy. Now, basic computer literacy involves you understanding the concept of computer, knowing how computer all started, knowing the possibility that computer offers. It also involves you learning how to use the computer, starting from how to use the keyboard, the mouse, how to type, how to make basic settings on your computer, on your desktop or laptop computer. That is what basic computer literacy entails. And you can learn this skills today online. Another one is basic ICT literate. Now, this one involves you understanding the other dimension of the ICT infrastructure we just mentioned, like understanding the internet. How is the internet made available to an end user? Understanding the concept, different ways computers are connected to exchange and communicate files. Also the web. How is the World Wide Web made available to an end user? This is actually basic ICT literate that is required of someone today if you really want to optimize the online world. If you want to understand how the online world works and also how you too can position yourself, this basic skills is very, very important. And also office productive tools. Now, this is also very, very essential. If you are working for businesses or organizations, they want you to have this skills because almost everything they do today, they do it with computer in offices. And most of the tools they use to do this are classified in these office productive tools. Now, this include like word processing, presentation tools, spreadsheet tools, meeting tools like Zoom and all those stuff. So these are the skills that is required today. You can learn these skills if you don't have them. You can learn them today without expensive degree program. So another skills a little bit advanced is web development. So another one is programming. Web development is all about building website today. Few decades ago, for you to build a website, you need to involve in coding. You need to write the raw code. But today, there are some tools today that you can use to develop web platform without even touching a single line of code. Okay, so all these things are things, if you understand them, you know what is possible. It also comes with having basic ICT literate. Then also digital marketing. Okay, this is actually where you learn how to use the ICT infrastructure in form of marketing anything you have to offer, selling products and services on the online space. Now, there are different branches in digital marketing, but the 4 branches or 4 modules I always recommend if you are interested in learning digital marketing is learning about system building. So the system building involves web development, of which I told you today you can even do it without touching a piece of code, building funnels and all that. They're all into system building. Search engine optimization. How do you make any web platform you build, how do you make it to be search visible so that people can find you on Google? These are skills, digital marketing skills that are very viable today. Paid advertising. How do you how do you buy traffic? How do you assess other platform traffic to direct them to your own platform to grow your business and all that? And also copywriting. How do you write copies that can sit on websites, web platforms, your marketing campaigns, flyers and all that? These are the major skills on digital marketing, but I group them inside digital marketing. So these are basic skills today that you can learn that will help you thrive in the kind of age and time we live today. And the challenge people make here is that whenever they want to go over to learn some ICT skills, for example, someone might watch this now and he wants to start with web development. The truth is that if you don't have basic ICT skills and computer literacy skills, you might struggle dealing with office productive tools, web development, programming, and digital marketing. So the best place to always start when it comes to developing any forms of ICT is to start with the basics. You see where I have the basics ICT, basic computer literacy, basic ICT. Once you have this basic, which involves understanding how the online world is, understanding the internet world, then understanding basic how to use computer and how to operate computer, then you can now explore other ICT skills. Okay, so these are the basic skills today you can start learning without expensive degree. And this is also what we do at LearnVer. So at LearnVer, our goal is to help individuals develop the basic computer, ICT, and digital skills they need to thrive online. So when I decided to launch LearnVer, my goal was to start developing programs and courses that is going to help people learn digital marketing, teach people how to build web platforms, how to run advertising, how to attract customer from the online space to their business and all that. But when I started the project, I discovered that even most people don't even have the basic ICT skills. So if you are teaching people digital marketing, most of them don't even understand what you are trying to say because they don't have the basic understanding of how the online space is made possible. And that's why I went back to develop a program that is going to help anyone, even though you have not come across computer before, to develop the basic ICT and digital skills you need to explore other digital skills out there like digital marketing, web development, and all that. The program is known as Computer and Digital Literacy Program. I will leave a link below this video in case you are interested. You can check it out. In that course, it's very comprehensive. It comes with a 1-day workshop and a 10-course bundle that is going to walk you through developing ICT skills and computer skills. Is a 6 weeks program, long program. It's going to go in depth to help you develop the right ICT skills you need to thrive. Okay, so basically that is it about what ICT is all about, and that is it about this video. I hope you gain a lot of insight from it. If you have any questions regards to this, endeavor to comment below, and endeavor to subscribe to this channel, turn on notification. We are going to be posting more educative, insightful, and in-depth videos like this talking about ICT, computer literacy, and digital literacy. So endeavor to subscribe, turn on notification, and stay tuned. Okay, so that is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.